Hello and welcome back to Sorta Strategy and Road to Regionals, Episode 3. This one will be uploaded a little late because I didn't upload today. I was at Regionals pretty late. I kind of stayed back a little bit, talking outside and upcoming event that I'm talking about. The finale to this season, we'll call it series of Road to Regionals. Yeah, it was good fun. And then tomorrow I'm away, so I'd rather record this and upload it really late, to be honest, than not upload either day. So hope that's okay with ye. Anyway. So, today, went to locals, played against, it was pretty diverse. There was like, I think we had about 20 players again, maybe a bit less than last time, actually. I played against some interesting decks for sure, not what I expected at all. There was about 4 or 5 Salamangreat players, didn't play against any of them. There was an Orcus player, didn't play against any of them. There was no Sky Striker player this time, and there was no true Thunder King, I nearly said. Thunder King. No Thunder Dragon decks there today either, so yeah, that was strange. Anyway, I'll jump straight in. So, Infernoids, continuing on, I'm very happy still with the deck. I know what I want to change, and yeah, I had some interesting changes anyway this time. Stuff that I mentioned last time, but also, you know, I now have a good vision, we'll call it, of what I want to do going forward. So yeah, very happy with the deck so far. Deck changes that I made. So reasoning is something I've been talking about a lot in the last while. Giving out about it, mostly complaining. Giving out about other players who say it's great and play it and stuff like that. I can see why it's kind of like a one card extender, but it's so like random. Like a lot. I give out about it enough. So for anyone who hasn't watched the previous episodes, I'd recommend you do that, but if you don't, that's fine. Basically, I always say that I activate reasoning. They call the correct number. I mill like 2 spells, a trap maybe, and like, if I'm lucky, 1 Infernoid. Never really much more. If I mill 2 Infernoids with this, I'm happy. That's pretty sad, to be honest. And a lot of time I activate it in the top card of my deck is a Arima or Decatron, nearly to the point where I'd probably just prefer to run Upstart. Anyway, I took out reasoning for Imperial Order. Right, so, okay, one sec, right? That sounds fine, maybe. Imperial Order, not a bad card, very strong. At 1 was banned and arguably could be banned again, I guess. I don't know. But there's a very important reason why I will definitely not be playing this card. It's something I didn't realize, and probably everyone either, you're probably sitting here like, you know, face spamming or like, oh, I don't know why, but you know, I'll tell you in a second. And then the other thing was Mud Dragon of the Swamp out for Violet Chimera. So they're the only 2 changes I made. I'll do a deck profile at the end in Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, same way I usually do, but I think it's nice when you can kind of visualize all the cards at once. So yeah, I'm gonna move on. So, cards I was thinking about playing instead of Reasoning. 1 card, power cards, you know, that kind of way. Good one-ofs. Upstart Goblin, consideration, you know, 39 cards. Not too bad, nothing to complain about. Enemy Controller. Great with Layer of Darkness, tribute opponent's monster, take control of opponent's monster, or even like, you know, it's a good going first and a good going second card. It's solid, like, and it's a quick spell, so yeah. A lot of bonuses. I'll probably maybe test that one next, I'm not sure. Void Seer, a card that I usually always played at 1 until kind of more recent times. I kind of wanted to up the consistency as much as I could, so I cut it. I love Void Seer because not just for its grave effect, it's great in the grave. That protection that oftentimes people forget about, and you can get away, you know, you can basically get them to waste their effects. Not get them to, I don't want to make it sound like I'm misleading people or anything like that, but often they'll target something and destroy it, and you just... basically, Void Seer can ban itself from the graveyard to protect, a lot like Phalanx or whatever. But Void Seer is basically says that it's quick spell, activated, target Infernoid, it's unaffected by opponent's card effects this turn. The reason I love that card is you special summon an Infernoid, Deviati or Nuncu, go to clear all their monsters or all their back row. They activate a trap or a hand trap or a negate with, say, I don't know, Zombie Sign. For example, just because it came up in the last episode, you chain your Void Seer and then you nuke their whole board and there's nothing they can do. Often they have multiple negates. The reason I'm not playing this is because, well, I'd still consider it, but Salamangreats obviously have a counter trap, which doesn't really help against counter traps, does it? And then also they're playing like Solemn cards and stuff like that. Striker, it'd be still good against Striker, I think. I'm not sure. It doesn't help with consistency. But really, none of these cards help with consistency except for Upstart. I guess you could argue Reasoning, but it's so, like, It's a weird card. Anyway, moving on. Skill Drain. Good 1-card power card, much like Imperial Order. I like it against... Like, I was thinking about it. I was like, against Sky Striker, it sounds pretty good until, you know, they can just search their... whatever the one is that they destroys back row. Sorry, I should have the name here, but I don't. They can just search that with... You know, they have basically 4 copies of it. I know it's not that much, but, like, come on, Sky Strikers don't find it too hard to get to their stuff, do they? So I'll have to test it maybe, or do a bit more theory at least. And then Imperial Order, I was like, oh, negate spells, good going first. Makes my going first turns stronger, it's great against... in my head, I was like, okay, Salaman great against them, cool. So skill drain, but anyway. Sky Strikers, amazing against Sky Strikers, and they're probably the best deck of the format. Sorry, I just burped, kind of. And then I was like, also, Endymion will be legal for this event that I'm going to upcoming, which I really have to do some research on Endymion. But yeah, I was like, oh yeah, this would be great. So I'll try Imperial Order. So I took out the thing today. I didn't miss reasoning, to be honest, once, but in theory, I can see why people obviously play reasoning. Anyway, moving on. So, bam. This is something I never considered. It never came up today, but if I had, you know, Lair of Darkness up, I basically would have to choose one or the other. So, obviously, that is not consistent. It is not a good idea. So, I will be... Lair of Darkness is my main interruption in this deck. Lair of Darkness is so strong, so underrated. Tribute an opponent's monster once per turn is just unbelievably good. It outs nearly anything. And it's a pain in the dick for your opponent to deal with. So, yeah, I'm gonna... Yeah, doesn't work. It's not compatible, basically. I saw Imperial Order a couple times today, but neither time did it really help, to be honest. It's funny because, like, I thought that if I saw it, it would basically, you know, help, like, secure the win. Like, I lost to it there, a couple weeks back against the, what they call them, Altergeist, but it didn't really... For me, it didn't really help that much, so yeah, that's kind of disappointing. But anyway, next slide, moving on. Imperial Order, out. Not a final decision. Now, next thing, Mudragon in the Swamp, out for Salaman Great, Violet Chimera. As I said earlier, I didn't play against any Violet Chimera, or I didn't play against any Salaman Greats, I should say. But at the same time, I never missed Mudragon of the Swamp. I mentioned a few times how Mudragon in the Swamp actually doesn't come up against... Unless you're playing against other fire decks, in which case you're probably better off just playing Violet Chimera. So, you know, seeing as other fire decks basically mean Salaman Greats right now. Didn't use Violet Chimera, didn't miss Mudragon, so I think Violet Chimera will stay in. I did use Starving Venom a shit ton today though. Well, not shit ton, you know, 3 times we'll say. For a 1-off, that's pretty good. Right, round 1, bam! I played against Element Sabers. Never played these before. Came out while I wasn't playing. Some pretty cool shit though, to be honest. I was actually really surprised. They seem pretty good. That guy there, Element Saber Willard, I'm pretty sure that's not his name, is it? I don't know, maybe it is. He was actually really, really good. While the field spell's on the field, he can basically Foolish 2 Element Sabers from the deck in order to special summon, and then he gains effects based on how many, like, the different elements that are in the graveyard. So I'm kind of squinting to read this here, but Earth and Wind cannot be destroyed by battle. Wind or Fire cannot be destroyed by card effects. Light or Dark cannot be targeted with card effects. Right, so yeah, he was fucking annoying, to be honest. And then the field spell gives him attack based on the amount of attributes in the grave. So often this guy had 1,000. He never had all 6, well, 7 if you count Divine, but obviously he's not playing Divine cards. He was usually up to 34. So this guy was kind of annoying in theory, like non-targeted, can't be targeted, can't be destroyed, can't be destroyed by battle. But Setsumis, amazing card, doesn't target, banishes, OP, and also Lair, you know, tributing. It's just so good. Like, Lair is searchable kaijus with added benefit of all the Infernoids banishing a card from the grave, basically. Okay, so I'll go through my game 1. So I was pretty impressed. Basically, it was like Photon Trasher, and then, like, Marauding Captain, I think, first, into a Zold. And then send 2 Bamboo cards to the graveyard. Cursed one got an effect, I think. Summoned Hero Kid. Hero Kid summons 2 more Hero Kids from the deck. Went into Summon Sorceress. Made Saryuja. Drew some cards. Ended on Saryuja. This is all the top of my head now. So Saryuja Sky... He's a rank 2 Sky Cavalry. And he ended on this guy, basically. The guy who can't be targeted or destroyed and stuff. So, and the field spell. So that was, you know, not bad. I was actually really surprised. But, yeah, I kind of just, like... I don't know, he did no damage to me. I don't know. It wasn't too bad. I can't remember exactly what happened. I probably somehow just popped the field spell and, like... I can't remember anyway, so I'm not going to say shit. Anyway... Game 2, he went first, did the exact same plays I just described, the whole Isolde, Summon Source, Sork, sorry, Sky Cavalry, this guy, loads of stuff in the graveyard, but he activated 3 Golden Bamboo Swords in one turn. Golden Bamboo Sword, for anyone that doesn't know, says, if you control a Bamboo Sword, equip to a card, draw 2 cards. So he activated 3 of those, he drew 6 in total, he kept drawing into more. I basically was pretty stuck for outs this time, but I managed to make Barload and attack his boss monster guy, that guy Willard. I'm 100% sure that's not what he's fucking called. I nearly googled it here, one sec. Alright, I'm googling it on my phone. Willard, that's not familiar. I'm just after putting code in my phone wrong. Let's see. Yeah, his name is La Paula Mana. Cool, La Paula, I don't know. Yeah, anyway, they were pretty cool. I was pretty impressed. I liked the way they play. They seem... I don't know. They seem fun and probably a bit underrated. I don't know. Infernoids just have oust everything because they're the best deck in the world. Next round, I played against Morels. So, Morels are a deck I actually know because, you know, I haven't played base. I stopped playing just before Lynx. I didn't really play when, like, True Dracos were massive, for example. But yeah, at Morels, I know them inside out pretty much. Sekka's Light was weird for me. It was weird when he summoned Megalone, didn't search the equip spell, for example, and there was no, like, instant fusion plays. I know they probably have, you know, I don't know. I know Morels pretty well, but yeah. Anyway, it was pretty good. I lost the dice roll, but he let me go first, and I had Feast, Called by the Grave, and Imperial Order. So this is my first time seeing Imperial Order. I said it, I was pretty happy, and I was like, oh yeah, fuck, it's probably Sekka's Light. Imperial Order just stayed set, and I just won. Feast was great. Called by the Grave hit Dragoons, and like, it was pretty much over. And then game 2, he let me go first again. He sided in Necro Valleys, which means he probably should have gone first, I suppose. Like, there was a time in game 1 where he had a Pancratops out on the field and, like, didn't use the effect to get rid of one of my negates and then basically played into the negate. I was like, why did you do that? Like, you could have, you know, you could have forced out a negate. I don't want to sound like a dick or whatever, like, but yeah, you could have forced out a negate and then maybe continued to plays, but I don't know. So yeah, he kind of played into that in game 1, and then game 2 I had Feast and Called by the Grave again, and I hit another Dragoon. So yeah, it was pretty good. It was fairly... I controlled it very well, anyway, I think. Yeah, that is that. Next game, next match, True Dracos. So, I learned something very valuable in this game, and that is that, like... Okay, so I lost to True Dracos, just to start. 2-0. Or, yeah, lost 2-0. This is the first 2-0 I've had in this series. So what I've learned is, my losses at local so far have been Altergeist and True Dracos. 2 very competitive decks, but also 2 very back row heavy decks also. So I think I really do need to side the Red Reboots. Red Reboot is a great card, but I just didn't really have room for it, and I was like, oh, maybe I don't need it, but I definitely do. Going first... Like, okay, so I'll explain quickly how this went. Game 1, I went first. I won the dice roll, and it just went badly. Like, it didn't just go badly. I bricked, okay? And if you're gonna say, oh yeah, I bricked, whatever. I drew Twin Twisters going first. That's good, right? Twin Twisters, let him set his shit. Activate during his end phase, pop 2 things. That's cool. He, like, went Card of Demise, Duality, I don't know, drew off one of the True Draco continuous spells. I don't really know this deck that well either, to be honest. But I know what all the monsters do. I know Monarch spells and traps. I know Demise. I know, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't really know what the continuous spells. I kind of knew some of the field spell effect, and the traps I didn't really know either. But I know that when they go to grave from field, they pop spells and traps, and then traps when they go to the grave pops monsters. I knew that. Yeah, going first, game 1, I had Twin Twisters, 2 Void Imagination, which obviously is useless against True Draco because they obviously don't use the extra deck. Which was just disappointing. I was like, oh, if I go first, set up a feast, set the, you know, I was like, oh, this could be good, you know what I mean? But no, the imagination was really not good. My other 2 cards were probably like Infernoids or something like that. Game 2 then, I sided in Twin Twisters, like, what else? Going first, Twin Twisters. I could have sided in the 3 Denko, but I didn't because I was going first. But Denko is good going first as well. They do have Monarch Stormforth, to be honest, but and it's now at 3. That fucking card hurt. Like Monarch Stormforth is very good. It forced one of my Tondels to like tribute himself and banish a card from the graveyard just cause, which you know is not ideal. But anyway, I started with 2 Twin Twisters, Lair of Darkness, and 2 Infernoids game 2. So yeah, that was not great. I basically summoned, like, I think it was Hermetic or something like that game 2 with Lair. That was, like, seemed okay, but, and the 2 Twin Twisters, I had 1 Tondel, I think, in hand for a discard off of Twin Twisters, but not for the second Twin Twisters, so yeah, not great. It was pretty much a grind game. I got him down to 2,000 life points. Like, he had me, so it went 5k, I was on 3-8 out of point. He was on 7-1, and then 2-1, and then 2k. I take notes. Like I do the life points, and at the end of the games, I take some quick notes about like what I started with and what they played or what I played. And yeah, it was pretty tough. I was pretty disappointed just because I thought I'd do better. I didn't misplay. That's what's important. I'm gonna side red reboots. What else? Yeah, it's because he was top decking at a point, and I was like, oh, I've won. I have like Lair, set Twin Twisters with nothing to discard though, and a Tondel on the field. This is good. He's top decking, and then he activates like Card of Demise off the top, and it was like, oh fuck. Like it was tough enough, to be honest with you. I was pretty pissed, but oh well, that's normal. I'm gonna have to squeeze in some change side deck. Okay, round 4. I don't know how I got basically matched against Dark Magician. I was kind of surprised. Like, I'm sure he probably wasn't playing the best Dark Magician deck. I don't know, so don't quote me on this. I don't know. There's probably Dark Magician players watching who think Dark Magicians are. This is a great card. But see, I remember when this Dragon Knight came out, everyone was saying that the Dark Magician girl one was better, but I don't know how you summon her. But anyway, yeah, the Keeper of Dragon Magic, certain like polymerization. The thing is, I think this could actually be a really good play if the Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight, was Spellcaster. So he basically ended his turn with. Okay, I'll just go by game. So game 1, he got me down to 3,000. I bricked a bit. I had like 3 Infernoids or something like that. But oh, and I had Void Imagination and I think like Lair of Darkness or something like that. I'm not 100%. But yeah, he had Secret Village, the Dragon Knight who says you can't target or destroy spells and traps. And I was like, oh shit. And then he had like the Magician's Apprentice or whatever she is, like the Dark Magician girl looking card basically. Yeah, he had that set in defense. So that was kind of his weak point. Like I could just summon an Infernoid, attack his spellcaster girl who had 2,000 defense. And then, like, his Secret Village then was working against him. So, yeah, that was kind of how game 1 went. He got me down pretty low, though. 3k. Yeah, seemed pretty good. And then game 2 was, you know, pretty much. It was a lot more straightforward. And that is my locals report this time. So, yeah, a lot more rogue stuff. Random enough, to be honest. I kind of dodged all the meta stuff, which is something I'm not happy about. I came second behind that True Draco player. So that's 2 seconds in a row now. So yeah, I'm not disappointed, but could have been better maybe. I don't know. I'm not disappointed. I didn't misplay. I just need to change the side. Anyway, I'm gonna go to the deck profile, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so I'm gonna try and keep this part of the video a bit shorter, just because the last part was quite long, longer than I expected. But anyway. So the monster lineup stayed the exact same. As you can see, I'm playing the same number of stuff. Still love 3 Arma, 2 Lair of Darkness. Don't argue with that. It is just really good. Like I've never bricked with it once, so yeah, that's really good. Imagination, great. Just bad against True Draco. I got unlucky, drawn 2, game 1. this was just great as usual. Twin Twisters, really strong. I don't know why people aren't playing back row removal a bit more. 1 for 1 used once today was very good. Didn't see Monster Gate once. Monster Reborn I used once and took a True Draco monster from his graveyard. It was pretty good. Used this against a Dark Magician player. Pretty much ended game 2, I think. That's why it's so short. Feast was great. I resolved 2 Feast in a chain once, and I could only summon... I already had a monster on the field, so I summoned 2 Decatron, Sagesse, and then the second one just summoned an Atondel. You know, grand. Imperial Order obviously is out, so I'm gonna have to get something else to put in here. I don't know what, but for now I'm considering, as I said, Upstart, Solemn, Skill Drain, Enemy Controller, Void Seer. If you have any suggestions, let me know. I'll reply to comments straight away, or as soon as I can, as soon as I see them. But I'll probably play, you know, test something else that I come up with myself or decide on myself, probably from the list I just mentioned. But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions, I'm more than happy to hear them. Anyway, moving on to the extra. 1 Tiara, amazing, whatever. I'd nearly consider playing 2 just to send another Tiara and have the other Infernoids banished. I really like that. I used to play that, but I don't know, a bit more tight for space. 3 Entis, great. Starving Venom, amazing. This didn't get to test it, but I'm sure it's great. Omega, amazing. I really like this against decks that get more advantage than you. I think I've talked about this before. If you can like hard make it. Barload, I used it to out that Element Saber once. This is my first time ever actually using it in person, and I'm happy with it. Decode is basically serving the same purpose as Echomax now, which is kind of dumb. But he has the targeting protection, but the thing is, like, if you're making him, it'll probably only make him when I want to finish the game. Otherwise, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure about him. Basically, he could be cut, I'm not sure. Echomax I actually used a couple times today. He was amazing, really, really good. But finishes, Hisa didn't use today. Apprentice I used once, Doolittle once. Linkuriboh I didn't use. Another card I consider taking out, but, you know, not a bad card either. It helps against Inspector Border, actually. So you summon your Decatron, make Linkuriboh, and then you can activate an effect out the Inspector Border. I played against Inspector Border with True Dracos today. Fuck me, that card. The text on that card to me, like, my mind was just like, what the fuck does this card do? Like, your man had to just explain it to me in a different way. I was just like, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, side. Okay, Red Reboot has to go in here. So, what am I going to take out? I don't know. I'll throw in 3 of that in the main for now. And then I really want the other at Lava Golem. I think it's important going... You saw my replays from my other video. You know, going second against Blue Eyes or Thunder Dragons is a pain in the dick. So, yeah, definitely want more of that. Shared Ride is the only card I can really see myself taking out. I haven't tested enough. Like, Anti-Spell is just a great card. I know it is. It's just I haven't tested enough against Sky Striker. That's the only reason I'm like, oh, maybe this. This just works so well against Thunder Dragons. Like, it's a tough decision. I'll probably... I don't know. I might just come back to you with my decision on that. Like, it's a tough one, so it is. But yeah, give me your opinions. Third Twin Twister, I love. These guys I love. As you can see, I want to add the third one. These are really good going second against combo decks. Orchist, Thunder Dragons was pretty nice. Denko's just an amazing card. Shared Ride, I'm kind of unsure about it. It's helped me draw, and draw power in Infernoids is great, seeing as you have so many like power cards. And then Anti-Spell is for going first against Striker, and is a great card in general. So I'm finding it really hard. So any advice would really be greatly appreciated. Now, my jobs for the regionals is only 2 weeks left to the regionals, so I'll probably have another maybe 3 or 4 episodes. Hopefully, probably about 3 maybe. I want to do the next 2 locals. Oh no, wait. Can I? Is there even 2 locals? There should be, maybe. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll check that now. 1 locals. No, only 1 more locals till the regionals. Fuck. Okay, so 1 more locals. I want to do a video playing online, and then probably another one playing online. Then so the coming week playing online, weekend locals, and then the coming week after that playing online, I suppose. Oh fuck yeah, I'm back to college that week too. Oh Jesus, that's my last week before summer holidays. Oh, okay. We'll see. Maybe only 2 episodes. I don't know. I'm not gonna promise anything. Okay. But yeah, my jobs now are to study. Basically, yeah, last week college, but what's more important? Yu-Gi-Oh! College, probably Yu-Gi-Oh! I have to study Sky Strikers, Salamangreats, Orcus, Thunder Dragons, and Demion will be legal for the regional, and I haven't a fucking clue what they do. So much card text, oh my god. Well, no, I have a bit of an idea. I know what some of them do, but I'm not 100% on them, obviously. Then Lunalights. Apparently, there's a few people in Dublin playing Lunalights. I don't know. This is inside information I got when I said I stayed back after locals, and also maybe a couple Guru control players. But yeah, other than that, that's probably all the learning I can probably squeeze in the next 2 weeks. Yeah, so I'll end it there. Any tips and tricks? Let me know. If you liked the video, drop a like. If you want to see more and see how the rest of this goes, subscribe. And that is that. Thank you again for watching. Bye bye.